I mean it. She's immortal. Literally. She is now 104 years old. She weighs just over 50 million tons. She can wrap around the Earth 3 times. She has flown in space, participated in nuclear bomb tests, had a decisive influence on the development of the polio vaccine, cloning research, in vitro fertilization, and God knows what else. More than 75,000 scientific publications have been written about her, and the number is growing. Her name is Henrietta Lacks. And now I will tell you why her immortal life is, in some sense, absolutely meaningless. Do you know what the secret of immortality looks like? It looks like this. Behind this set of letters lies an enzyme called telomerase. And for the discovery of how it works, the Nobel Prize in Psychology or Medicine was awarded in 2009. We are made up of cells, right? Inside each of our cells are chromosomes, which carry hereditary information and make me, Sergei Sherbakov, and you. At the ends of each chromosome, there is a section called telomeres. 20 minutes ago, before the shoot, I cut myself, if you know what I mean. Right now, the cells of my skin are actively dividing to create new cells and heal the wound. In each new cell, there is the same set of chromosomes, but with each division, this telomere shortens a little. It is similar to how the life bar in Mortal Kombat shortens with each hit from an opponent. Once the telomere is gone, the cell can no longer divide and dies. Thanks to this process, two very important things happen. We age because cells cannot divide indefinitely, and we do not get cancer, also because cells cannot divide indefinitely. But there is a cheat code, and it affects both of these points. Telomerase allows cells to divide an infinite number of times. But as you might have guessed, it is usually found specifically in the cancer cells.
Some cells find a way to overcome the limit created by shortening telomeres. Up to 80% of human cancers express abnormally high levels of telomerase.
Dubious immortality, right? Nevertheless, we have understood the mechanism, and that is already part of the journey. There is an entire telomere theory of aging, with hundreds of scientific articles and books written on the subject, and specialized clinics measure telomere length on a commercial basis. Yes, we are not immortal yet, but it seems there is a chance. And that chance was given to us by none other than Henrietta Lacks. In February 1951, when she was being treated for cancer at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, the attending physician, without telling her, before the procedure took 2 pieces of tissue from her cervix, one from the tumor and other from a healthy area of skin. Then the lab assistant placed them in several test tubes with nutrient solution and labeled them with the first letters of the first and last name, HeLa. It was a routine procedure that had been performed thousands of times before Henrietta. 40 years earlier, scientists had been allegedly managed to grow an immortal chicken heart. It was later revealed to be a hoax, but the hoax inspired many doctors around the world to attempt to artificially grow human cells. The most famous of them was Dr. George Guy. It was in his laboratory that the HeLa cells ended up. And while Henrietta's healthy cells died within a few days, the cancerous ones, for the first time in history, actually survived. Moreover, they began to grow like weeds 20 times faster than normal cells usually grow. Their number doubled every 24 hours. And George Guy began sharing them with other researchers and laboratories, sending them by mail and later by air delivery.
And her cells were grown to the tune of about 6 trillion cells a week and sent out to laboratories around the world. So the volume of cells that grew from this one little tiny sample is sort of inconceivable.
It was one of the most important events in 20th century medicine, which likely affected you personally as well. Here is a small and incomplete list of what influenced HeLa cells. This is just the tip of the iceberg. In 2011, Rebecca Skloot wrote in her book that according to the PTO, more than 17,000 patents related to HeLa cells have been issued. And in 2021, WHO added to this statistic that about 75,000 scientific papers had been written thanks to HeLa cells. The most astonishing thing is that HeLa cells, in the truest sense, are Henrietta Lacks. After all, during cell division, they fully inherit genetic information And despite the fact that HeLa are cancer cells, at a basic level, they behave like normal ones. They build protein, communicate, produce energy, respond to infections. They continue to live. And the list of what they have influenced grows every day. That is why the life of Henrietta Lacks can, in some sense, be called meaningless. Her story is not finished. Imagine you are reading a book and someone asks you, what is it about? What is the meaning of the story? Highlight the main point. But before you can answer, a new chapter appears in the book, then another one. Then one of the chapters you have already read gets updated. Never-ending story. Immortality. As long as the story continues, it is impossible to highlight the main point. That is why you can easily tell me that the meaning of Henrietta's life was to leave humanity with HeLa. But you will have nothing to say if I ask you about the meaning of life of that Henrietta, who is now 104 years old and weighs more than 50 tons. One Henrietta passed away, the other is immortal. And here is the difference. HeLa cells can be given a new goal, to use them for developing a cure for death, or conversely, to turn them into a deadly weapon. I don't know. Anything. That's exactly what's happening right now, while you are watching this video. In tens of thousands of laboratories, Henrietta Lacks, in different languages and dialects, tries to answer the question of the meaning of her life. Vaccines, cloning, in vitro fertilization, there is no answer. You and I are not immortal. Our stories will inevitably come to an end. And those who inherit them will inevitably decide what the story meant without asking our opinion. But while we are alive, we can try to understand how it works, find out our own meaning and weave it into the fabric of the story.